Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, July 30th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to Catex TV. There have been 3 earthquakes in the past 24 hours of some note. The first one occurred in Australia, in the state of Queensland, down the southeastern part of the state. It was a 5.3 magnitude quake, struck in the Coral Sea off Hervey Bay, and shaking was felt for about 120 miles away. Shook houses as far away as Brisbane and Fraser. This is in the Australian so-called Gold Coast. There have been no reports of any damage or injuries, although houses were rattled. There was also a very rare earthquake in Sweden, in Gothenburg, in the second largest city in Sweden. It struck just west of Styrso Island, just outside of Gothenburg, shortly before 10 p.m. last night. It came in at a 2.5 on the Richter scale. It may have been higher, said a seismologist in Sweden, because they don't have any precise parameters there because earthquakes are so unusual. And then there was a 4.7 earthquake that struck in British Columbia near Port Hardy last night. There have been no reports of any damage or injuries there. The U.S. Geological Survey said that the quake could have been, in fact, a 4.8. This earthquake occurred in the extremely active Cascadia subduction zone, where the Juan de Fuca plate is moving eastward underneath the North American plate. This is the area that the New Yorker magazine article last week speculated could be the cause of the next big one that occurs in the northwestern U.S. The big news today is that a part of a wing that might have belonged to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which has not been heard from or seen in the past 17 months or so since it disappeared somewhere over the Indian Ocean, may have washed up on a beach on the French island of Réunion. It's air safety investigators, one of them a Boeing investigator, have identified the component as a so-called flaperon from the trailing edge of a Boeing 777 wing. Flight 370 was, of course, a Boeing 777. According to the Australian Transport Minister, it's the first real evidence that there is a possibility that a part of this aircraft may have been found. The plane had been traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, but investigators believe that the plane turned south into the Indian Ocean after vanishing from radar. The wing piece is about 6 feet long. Investigators have found a number on the part, but it's not a serial or registration number. It could be a maintenance number, which may help investigators figure out what plane it belongs to. Swiss Re came in with numbers for the quarter. They were actually quite good. It was a solid set of results. Group profits were up slightly at about $820 million compared to $802 million for the same period last year. Property and casualty reinsurance profits fell from $553 million to $453 million. Gross premiums also dropped from $3.6 billion to $3.5 billion in reinsurance. This means that Michel Lies and his group are holding to their word, and they're not writing bad business if they can't get the prices they want. For the half-year results, the whole group profits were up 11% to $2.3 billion. That's pretty good. When we were in London last week, the big news over there, and it continues to be the big news, is the problem of migrants coming from refugee camps in the Calais region of France into the Channel Tunnel. Last night, at least one person was found dead, as about 1,500 migrants desperate to reach England made renewed attempts to enter the Eurotunnel terminal overnight in Calais. The spate of entries into the tunnel, which is operated by the Eurostar train that moves through the tunnel at speeds of about 90 miles per hour, is an amazing number. There are incursions reported literally every 15 minutes. It's a miracle that not more people are killed. On Monday, 2,000 migrants tried to enter the terminal, causing serious delays to Eurotunnel train services. The French Interior Minister said that there were some arrests and it all passed off without a fuss. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister David Cameron is not quite so sanguine. He's saying this is very concerning and we are working very closely with French authorities to address the situation. It's an unusual situation. There's a refugee camp with approximately 5,000 Sudanese, Africans, and other people that the French have set up near Calais, which is on the English Channel. It's also very close to the entry to the Eurostar tunnel. It's a very attractive option for people trying to get to England. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.